Hello guys and welcome to today's video. Today we're back with April's tier list. I know what you're thinking. Christ, you've left this one late. Yeah, I did. I was away on holiday, then Act 8.2 come out, and then I thought, well, I better get this out for the month anyway because soon we've got 7 stars coming. So there's a lot happening, quite a lot to catch up on. So yeah, we're getting this tier list video out now. It might be the 28th, it might be the 29th, depending on when you're watching this. There is a live stream on the 28th that I do want to maybe try and give you guys a video on. Whether I do that for the evening of the 28th or the 29th, it doesn't matter because you would have already seen it or it will be coming up. So let's just jump straight into the tier list. As you guys know, we've got at the top emoji key. The family it needs synergies. The star, singular star, is it needs an awaken. 2 stars is it means the champ needs a high sig, and the brick means he's an amazing defender. And finally, the swords mean he's just solely an attacker. Don't put him down as a defender. So on this first row, you can see we've got the best champ in pink, the top 4, or technically the top 5, in those no particular order. Then we've got champs who are very close to the top 5, and so on and so on. And then right at the bottom, we've got the pink champs who are most needed for a buff. None of these. Although OG Hulk, there he is, he's also down here, so I've clearly made a mistake here. Does mean that actually now OG Captain America is the worst science champ. Unfortunately, I've not made that change. That is completely on me. That'll be ready for the next video. So champs in purple are the ones we're going to talk about today. So this week, or this month, you guys, if you have watched every one of these tier lists, will know there seems to be quite a common thing with Arcus and King Groot. They are constantly swapping positions. I got Arcus as a 6 star. I'm quite enjoying him. He's winning a lot of battles as a defender on Battlegrounds. Don't get me wrong, guys. If you've got both of these and you've got lots of lots of sig stones, then King Groot is probably the champ that you really want. He's why he's got the 2 high sigs. He's constantly regenning. He's always shrugging when he's not regenning, so he has a lot of survivability right there. But Arcus is good. He puts that cold snap on, which is really, really effective. Not many champs are immune to it, but he's also really good on the attacker side. So he's both a good defender and a good attacker, which is why I've put him above King Groot. But again, very, very similar champs, very good champs. We've got Thanos down here in the specific niche. He is been moved up from buffable. This is just because he does have a specific niche as a Battlegrounds defender at full sig. I should have the 2 stars there as well. He is very, very good. He just reduces all damage by about 80%, I think, at full sig. So, you're doing 20% of the damage you would normally do to this Thanos, meaning he takes a bit longer to kill. And then finally, we've got Carnage. He moves down. That's who Thanos replaces. It's very tricky to get a specific niche champ down. Airwalker has his annoying Dark Tides. Heimdall is Heimdall. Obviously, he's your best champ in the game with that on. Obviously, if you get that joke, you do. Black Bolt, great synergies. Red Goblin, another champ who should probably go up in this list. Ronan, somebody who, again, if you can stun lock with him, is very, very useful. And then Proxima, who, if you fully build up, is a great attacker. So Carnage was the one who fell. Unfortunately, I just think he's not a great defender. He doesn't do too much damage except from those bleeds as an attacker, so he moves to the buff board tier. That's all really we've got to talk about. The Cosmic Hercules, I did get Awakened this month, so maybe I will be absolutely banging on about how good he is next month. And yeah, there are a few champs in here. You've seen the top 10. Obviously, Cersei very close to the top 5 now, as is Hyperion. But apart from that, few champs there that need to be spoken about. This is another one, the mutant class, where not many champs have changed. Kitty Pryde is obviously our number 1. You can see Archangel and Omega Red have those attacker tiers. Both easy champs to fight against. Omega Red, if you stay away from him, doesn't really do anything. If he builds up those sort of virusy charge things, can't think of their exact name, the spores, then he can do damage, but isn't too difficult to avoid. Bishop, I've not got an amazing defender or an attacker because he's a bit of a dual threat, but I would say if you know how to fight him or you're going with an Incinerate immune champ, he's really not that tricky to fight against. He, however, is in orange because of Act 8.2 coming out. There's the prowess path where Bishop would be really good because he builds up so many prowesses so quickly on parries or well-timed blocks. He's also good for the champs who you need to put lots of incinerates on, because if you throw his SP1 and you stay close to that champ, you get incinerates. So he's quite handy for a few bosses in 8.2, which is why he is highlighted orange. And then we've also got Wolverine. Wolverine is another one. He's recently got a 6-star. He now, as a horseman, can do a ton of damage, and he can last for a very long time with his regens. So he is somebody who does deserve to go up. He's definitely not a great defender, but as a 6-star, you can do quite a lot of damage with that horseman. And then Nightcrawler has gone up as well. He does have a specific niche, and that specific niche is, in fact, being a defender because of those annoying evades. If you've got an evade counter, he's fine, but anyone else, he's quite hard to fight against. So that's the mutant champ. We're flying through these today. Not too many people to talk about, as there's not been too many changes. The top 5 remains the same in the Mystic class. Absorbing Man solidifies his place in there. Dragon Man is one to talk about. The fact that he's a robot, he's dual immune, is really handy in my opinion. I think he's really good. He showed his worth in EOP Acceptance, and we're sort of seeing how good he is as a champ there. He's also going to be a 7-star soon, so I feel like more people will sort of get to use him and realise how good he really is. So he also gets in and is highlighted orange, just because I wanted to sort of mention that he is a good champ, and he is the only robot who isn't tech, which makes a massive difference in my opinion. It means in any robots type task or challenge, he's able to be used, and because he's a mystic, he's very useful. Then moving right across, we've got Dr. Voodoo. Dr. Voodoo unfortunately has moved down. I think he's a good attacker, but he's not really with the times as much anymore. I would say that the champs in the tier above him are a little bit better. Ebony Maw potentially could even move up. I think he's a little bit underrated on the attacking side. And as a defender in this current Battlegrounds meta, he's really strong. So that is the Mystic class. Iron Fist remains as the worst champ probably in the whole game. Absolutely terrible champ. And yeah, down to the science. So 3 classes left. We've absolutely flew through this, as I've said. Probably won't even be a 10-minute tier list video. Apologies for that. Just there's not too much has happened. This is where we get to the newer champs in the science class. We've both, obviously, with Sandman and then Shocker coming in the tech classes. So let's start with the champs above him. A big change in this one. Overseer now moves to the top 5, which is pretty big. iBomb, I've given a lot of love to iBomb, as you guys know. He's my first real good 6-star. I thought he was a really good champ. I still do. I still think he's 6th in that list, 6th, 7th for sure. But I think Overseer is immune to poison. The build-up of his damage is outrageous. And with the Hulk Relic on, he's so powerful. So an absolute powerhouse of a champ. And I think he deserves to be in that top 5. Then we've got Sandman as well, a new champ. Sandman is one of the tricky ones. I've not really seen too much about Sandman yet. He is a champion who looks really strong, and we've obviously been waiting for him for a while, but I've not quite, as I said, seen too much about him. I know his heavies are very useful. His debuff builds up are really good, and however, as a defender, he's not really that difficult. He's quite easy to take on. Just moving to his SP1. His SP2 is a little bit more challenging, but again, he doesn't do much damage. It's not too tricky to fight against him. So Sandman is solely an attacker there. We've got OG Spider-Man recently getting the buff. It's a nice little buff. The fact that he is basically immune to Limber is really useful. The webbing is much easier to bring up now that his buff is out than it previously was in the showcase. We've seen prior to him getting that sort of buffed up buff, if that makes sense. He swaps for Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket good, but I feel like Miles Morales with the invisibility and the miss on unblockables, very powerful. Hulk Ragnarok with the annoying smash and being able to do quite a lot of damage is good. Spider-Gwen always will be a great champ, I think. And Red Hulk and Ant-Man are 2 with recent buffs, or Ant-Man in particular, who have sort of come out of the other end of those buffs looking quite nice. So Yellow Jacket is the one who drops down for me, and that sort of rounds off the science class. Skill champions. Class we have again some highlighted orange champs. Shang-Chi is a big one. Shang-Chi is highlighted because I think going through EOP Acceptance, I've sort of realised how good he is. He has got only that sword because on defense he is a bit of a thumb. You know, he's relatively easy to take it down, not too tricky to fight against. But on on the offensive side, he's massive. He's got the unblockables, the slows, constantly stunning, the block breaks, which are really useful for champs like Mordo. He has a lot in his kit. I think he's a very unique champ with the cleanses as well, or being able to purify those debuffs and then reset that whole all those abilities. He's also a champ I really, really want, as you guys know, if you've seen in a video. So I've just highlighted him to sort of point out that, like, how good he is, just to mention about him, just that I think he is somebody who will really help anyone's accounts. So if you have got him, he's definitely worth sort of leveling up and bringing to rank 2, rank 3, or even a max 5-star if you're still not pushing Paragon or Thronebreaker. He is a great champ, and maybe not underrated because everyone knows how good he is, but a little bit forgotten about how good he truly is. We've also got Falcon. Falcon is one who I bought him down, and in the top 10 he wasn't as high as he used to be. He was like 8th or 9th, but I just don't want it. After making that video, I sort of thought, well, I don't want people to think he's a bad champ. Falcon can do a lot of things. When I was pushing for Thronebreaker, Falcon was one of those who was constantly there. He was always in my decks. Being able to 100% reduce ability accuracy by 100% with his lock-on was massive. He could basically shut down Hercules' immortality, a lot of different nodes that maybe you wouldn't expect him to. So I think he's a very good champ, and I just didn't want it to sort of get mixed up in all of the top 10s that I thought maybe he wasn't as good because he dropped down. It's just because there's some champs in the game who are very good, like Crossbones, like Kingpin, like Zemo and Valkyrie. Then we've got a little 3-way switch. Agent Venom goes right to the bottom, Misty Knight goes up 1, and Ronan goes up 1. Loads of comments about Ronan. He's definitely a champ that maybe I need to check out and do a how to play on, because so many people love him. So many people who think he's a really good champion. And he has so many abilities that I sort of didn't know about previously. He is only an attacker, but that's not the end of the world. I think there are a lot of people out there who showcase how good he really is, and I think for that he deserves to go up. You know, with especially this is supposed to be a me and you watching tier list, so I do want to take your guys' opinions into consideration, and that's what I've done with Ronan. With Misty Knight, good defender, does need to be awakened, but it's very handy. Can do a lot of damage on attack as well. The Purify with her is very useful. The Unblockable and the SB2, the Cold Snap, as we said with Vision Arcus. Not many people are immune to that Cold Snap, so she can do a ton of damage. Agent Venom does go down. Yes, he's very good with his synergies. Yes, Scorpion is a great champ. But this is a tier list on one. You know, these champs, if it was a synergy, who's the best champ with a synergy? Agent Venom would obviously be up there, but it's sort of an all-round one. And in things like EOP Acceptance, you can't bring Agent Venom in because Scorpion doesn't work for all of it, and then it only leaves you one champ to use. So I do think that maybe Agent Venom does drop down. Still an amazing champ like those below him, but just isn't super special. And then I've highlighted Winter Soldier just to let you guys know how rubbish he is. He's terrible, isn't he? Like, when I think about it, he's really bad. People constantly fight him to show you how easy he is. Him being the first in the Realm of Legends doesn't help him, because obviously it makes everyone think he's rubbish because he's the first one you kill for like how to play videos. But as an attacker, he's not great. He's okay, but not great. And as a defender, he does really suck. So just highlighted him there. Sorry, Winter Soldier. That was probably a bit of a hater move, but yeah, nonetheless. Tech, last class. Ghost is highlighted orange because is it time for her now to swap with Nimrod? Is it time for Nimrod to take that #1 spot? I recently did the top 10. I do think she's still the best tech champ, but I'm just wondering if maybe, just maybe, there is the potential for Ghost to drop down 1 and Nimrod take her space. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of that. I'm still not sure, but yeah, I think that maybe that could be the case. Then in the top 5, nothing changes. However, Ant-Man Future is very close to taking over that top 5 spot. I'm not sure who for yet. Maybe Omega Sentinel. but he is very close. That's why he's highlighted orange. We've also had an upgrade in Shuri and a downgrade in Hulkbuster. Unfortunately there, Shuri, a great champ on offense and defense. I recently pulled her as a 6-star. I got her yesterday, I believe it is. I've leveled up to rank 2, max rank 2. I'm looking forward to using her, seeing what she's like. She's a very good defender in Battlegrounds. That's why she's got the brick emoji. So is Ant-Man Future. Very, very good champ. A lot of these Tekka champs coming out recently have been good defenders, which is really nice to see with the strength of the Cosmic class, as these things do go in ebb and flow. And then Infamous Iron Man's there, just to sort of get your guys' opinion on him. What do you think about him? Like, is he any good? Have any of you pulled him and you think he's really good from the feature crystal? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that, just because, you know, I'm very interested. Want to know what the deal is there with that. Then we've got Shocker. Shocker, new champ. Definitely only an attacker, but that heavy attack doing like 250k damage is very surreal, or not surreal, unreal, and very, very useful. I think he could maybe go up and maybe swap for Guardian or Stark Spidey, maybe a newer version of Stark Spidey. I like him a lot, but I haven't got him yet, and he's new, so we've not really seen him. So I think once we see him more and more, then maybe he'll move into that tier up. Nebula has unfortunately dropped for Shocker's introduction. Great champ, builds up of those shocks can be really, really handy, but is only an attacker, isn't as strong as the other champs in her class. Maybe Guillotine 2099 switches for Nebula, but I think Guillotine has a few abilities that maybe Nebula doesn't. And then we've got both Visions, Rocket Raccoon and Civil Warrior. Civil Warrior's down there to say, is he the worst tech champ in the game? He's dropped down one because I think he really is terrible. But is he the worst? That's another question for you guys. Rocket Raccoon and Vision have in fact swapped. Rocket has gone down. I think Vision has the Furies. He has some nice abilities, especially although Yellow and Red Vision or Vision Classic isn't quite a 6-star. I think if he was, he'd be very, very powerful with that very annoying synthesis. But I think Rocket is maybe, his buff was not as good as we all thought. But yeah, that does it for this video. This is the tier list. I'll show you the top half. There we go. And then if you want to screenshot that, and then we've got the bottom half as well. Hopefully this video was interesting for you guys. You enjoyed it. And yeah, if you're new around here, please do like, please do subscribe. Comment down below with your thoughts on the questions that were asked throughout this video. Is Ghost still #1? Is Civil Warrior the worst tech champ in the game? Is Winter Soldier the worst skill champ? Should anyone go up? Should anyone go down? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.